Good morning. Got a download. Have you ever been attacked by an elemental? You mean the guy from Skyrim? No, I don't mean the character from Skyrim. No, the elemental I'm referring to is an astral entity. I had a lesson a while ago, and I had talked about how we have multiple bodies, right? I think I said we had 3 bodies, and indeed we do. One of those bodies is an astral body. When we dream, your consciousness goes into the astral body, in the astral plane, okay? The elemental lives within the astral plane. When I was a little kid, I can remember my dad telling me something. I was upset. I was being, having a temper tantrum, as they say. And my dad said something along the lines of, well, that's not you, that's just an elemental. I was like, what? But he was giving me some truth. An example of an elemental attack. Elementals play on your emotions, right? As above, so below. They mess with our astral bodies, which affect our physical bodies. Okay? And so an example would be, let's see, have you ever heard of like mob mentality? Right? Something happens and it stirs up an emotional response in a group of people, usually leading to an act of violence or crime, right? That's a result of an elemental attack, a flurry of emotion. I could think of Facebook. Not the app just itself, but have you ever noticed that Facebook or other social media apps, especially when it comes to around time for voting and politically charged events, will start just throwing emotionally charged images at you. Images of violence and vexing things, whether you lean to the right or the left. The design is to get you stirred up in emotional state, an elemental attack. How do we fight this? With discrimination. I'm going to go into that a little bit. I've been saying it a lot. I haven't really been defining it. Discrimination. The ability to be able to tell the difference between the real and the unreal. You are discriminating between the two when you can do that. Some people would say, well, is that discernment? The two terms are similar, and I said in a lesson before, in the occult world, we use terms that have different meanings. Same word, but they are understood on another layer, another level of meaning that the layman does not understand. And I don't mean to say that and above anybody else. I'm a layman, right? I'm not very educated. I'm really not. I don't look good on paper to the normal world. I had to read all this stuff myself. Go right on in. An example of discriminating, right? When I started sharing my story on Facebook, YouTube, I started getting a bunch of violent images thrown at me on the social media right after I would release something. I would release something, and then an image would come up, and it would say something like, watch your back, and it would have like a gun loaded up. I don't watch stuff like that. But an elemental That was an elemental attack designed to get me emotionally charged. I use discrimination to know that that's not real. That's just something to get me emotionally stirred up. The news does this. Politicians do this. Why? Why do occultists, dark occultists, use this tactic? When you are emotionally stirred up, you are easily manipulated. I can get you emotionally riled up, and then I can point you to where I want you to attack, and you'll jump like a dog. Wake up. What else? I think that's about it for now. Good luck out there, guys. Have a good day.